Okay, so I'm making this video here because, like an idiot, I completely forgot to turn the software on that runs my microphone during the live session today. So we recorded that entire live session without me realizing that y'all couldn't hear me. Cool. It's all right. We make mistakes, we learn from them, and we move forward. So I had a request to make this video here explaining my two trades today so that you guys can actually hear what you're seeing in the live. So I just went back and I laid out my trades here on the screen for you, and we'll just talk about why I took them and what my parameters were and all that stuff so that you guys can understand the two trades that I took today. So first of all, I took two trades today. One of them was red. First one was red, the next one was green. I explained that extreme volatility is going to be our buddy for at least the next week, right? We've had extreme volatility the past week and a half, really since the beginning of the year, honestly, but really the last week and a half, it's been very, very high volatility. Today, the market opened up even higher. And I was expecting that. If you watch my video for that I posted last night, it's my Sunday weekly outlook for the market. I explained in that video that I was expecting there to be high volatility for this week because of all the data that's coming out. It's a very, very data heavy week. Okay, so today we were expecting consumer inflation expectations. Now, normally that's not really a huge data point, but because of all the other things that are going on, because of the talk about increased the possibility of increased inflation because of tariffs, because of all this trade war stuff, I thought it was going to be an important number today. So uh, we had that data point today. Tomorrow we have JOLTS data. Okay, job openings, very important for the Fed. Wednesday, CPI data. Okay, Thursday, PPI data. Two very big inflation data points, right? And then Friday, going along with today's data, is the Michigan consumer sentiment. Also, big data point, also heavy, weighs heavy on the market and the Fed. So we have an entire week, every single day this week, pretty much like last week, where we have all these very, very important data points coming out. So you're going to get volatility. The volatility comes from the uncertainty in the market right now, okay? Because of tariff talks, really, that's kind of the number one line that is kind of driving all of this stuff here is tariffs. Now, we've talked about tariffs. Tariffs were implemented, tariffs were paused. We talked more about tariffs. Tariffs were implemented, and then tariffs were just recently paused again, or at least on some things, right? So, because we have this back and forth, the market doesn't know what to expect. And when the market doesn't know what to expect, it gives you volatility because there's uncertainty. The market likes to understand what's happening 6 months down the road, and it prices in things 6 months down the road. Well, if it doesn't understand what's going on, it cannot price things out 6 months. Okay. You get volatility, you get money pulled out of the market and put into other places. And so you get these wild movements, you get pullbacks, you get corrections in the market, you get all this stuff, which is what we are seeing right now. So I explained that in the beginning of the live today that you guys couldn't hear. So with that being said, I changed up my, I don't want to say I changed, but I added a little indicator today because I've noticed that what is happening is we are making a breakout one way or another, okay? And we are continuing this move for most of the day because of this volatility and whatnot. So I based my first trade off of the, what you would call the orb indicator, the opening range breakout, okay? So I set a 15-minute opening range. Normally I use this just to solidify bias for the day, okay? But today I used it as a trade. Didn't work out the greatest for me. but it wasn't wrong overall, okay? So you can see here, market open is here, all right? And we had this really nice sell-off here. We had this really decent pullback that did not really break highs of market open, okay? And then we began to sell off again, and we broke out of the bottom end of this opening range, okay? I took this trade on this candle here, right here, about the halfway mark, okay? Expecting a sell-off for the rest of the morning, right? Which is what we got. But what happened was is I did not leave enough room for a stop loss. As you can see here, my stop loss just got taken out. And then another big sell-off here, right? So it seems to me as if a lot of people did this move today, retail traders, and we came back up, took out stop losses, and continued the move to the downside. Okay. My bad. I talk about volatility all the time. I should have left more room here for my stop loss, and this would have played out really, really nice. Okay. I knew that I wasn't wrong in my bias for the day. All right. And I wasn't going to let this failed trade, um, basically divert me from getting back into what I knew was going to be a down day. All right. So once we got this sell off here, again, we pushed past the low of the opening range. We had really nice, um, large candles and expanding candles on the way down. Okay. This shows good momentum to the downside. I re entered once we broke the lows of this candle and then the previous low. Once we broke the low and closed there, this is a very strong close here. You can see on this candle. I re-entered short on the very next candle. So you can see my entry was basically right at the close. It never ends up being right there because wherever your order gets filled, because I do market orders, right? So wherever your order gets filled, that's where you get filled. This is where I ended up getting filled. It's just slightly below where I wanted to get in. No problem. I expect that. I set my stop loss above that previous candle because basically, if the next candle or the next few candles moved above this candle here, it kind of makes that trade invalid. So that's where I chose to set my stop loss. And as you can see, we never really broke past these lows here. Okay, once we made this move down, it was a pretty safe bet that we weren't going to come past this previous low here. Okay, and you can see we kind of peaked, but we never closed, and we continued to get our sell off. Now, this trade I was in for a while. Okay, made me real nervous sometimes, but one of the things that I'm trying to work on for myself is not moving my stop loss and letting the trade play out. Okay, those are two things that I have an issue with. I have I'm still working on getting over that fear of losing. Okay, so I end up moving my stop loss to break even a lot of times way too soon. Okay, and then the price moves up to break even, takes me out, and then I miss the trade. It's 9 times out of 10 when that happens, price action continues in the direction that I think it's going to go in the first place and leaves me behind because I decided to move my stop loss too early because I was afraid of losing. Okay, so today I said to myself, I'm not going to touch anything. I'm going to let it play out. If the trade goes bad again, that's 2 losing trades in a row, I'd be done for the day. Those are my rules. I let it play out. I sat, made myself busy, did some other things. I let the price play out. And as you can see here, we had a bunch of consolidation. Price started to move back up, puckered my butthole a little bit. And then we continued to the downside. Okay, it played out really, really nice. What I ended up doing was switching over to the 15-minute chart where I was able to see a little bit better the formation of these candles. And what I did was candle by candle, I decided that if the candle closed bearish, I would stay in. If the candle did not close bearish, I would close then. Okay. Each candle continued to close bearish and continued to move. So I stayed in. It's a good move. Now, we did start to slow down a little bit. I originally had my take profit set for this support here, 19.5. I thought that was a little greedy, and with this market structure and the volatility that we had and the movements that we were having, okay, I didn't want to be greedy, so I changed my stop loss to a 2-to-1. I said, let me just take 2-to-1. So this is where the stop loss ended up. It was a 2-to-1 at that point. Price continued to move down, hit my take profit. Finally, I actually had a take profit hit versus a stop loss that I'm moving, okay, which was awesome for me. Hit the take profit, and that was my day. Had a nice 2-to-1 trade there. I risked 1.5% and gained 3%. The first trade, I risked 2%. And it ended up taking me out at 2.4% because of the volatility. It pushed right through. The order got filled way higher than I expected. So I adjusted. This is what we have to do. We have to learn with this volatility. I don't want to lose more than 2% in one trade. Okay. That's my rule. And it should be everybody else's rule. You should not risk, it should be 1%. You should not be risking more than at max 2% of your entire account size. So I trade by risking 2%. I realized that by actually setting a 2% stop loss, I'm actually getting 2.4, 2.5% losses. So the next trade, I risked 1.5%, expecting to lose 2% at that point or less if the trade went bad again. Ended up working out for me this time. Took a 2-to-1, gained 3%, which got me back all of my loss today and then a little bit. So ended the day green today. Took what I would say were two good trades. The first one, I did not allow enough room. That's my fault. Okay, still trying to get used to this volatility stuff. You got to leave room. So didn't leave enough room there. Lost that trade, but I did not let that deter me from making another good decision afterwards, a better decision. Learn from your mistake. The next decision should be a little bit better, and that one ended up working out for me. I knew that, or I shouldn't say I knew. I felt very, very confident that price was going to move down to this support today, okay? But at the same time, I did not want to lose all of my profits because I was being greedy. So I made that change to move my stop loss or my take profit to a 2-to-1 RR because I did not want to lose because I was being greedy, if that makes sense. Okay, a 2-to-1 is all you need. If you're risking whatever percent and your winning trades are going to double that, then all you need is a 50% win rate and you're going to succeed. So with all this stuff going on and the market moving the way it's moving, and you don't know when it's going to just change directions, I didn't want to risk that. I didn't want to be greedy and lose out on a second trade that was working very well for me because I was looking for more than what I needed. Okay. So I made that decision to move that take profit to a 2-to-1. It worked out great. It did end up going down to right where my original take profit was. I don't care. It bothers me not at all. I made a really nice trade. The trade gains were bigger than my losses. Okay. That's all that matters, especially at this point in my trading career here, my journey, that my wins are bigger than my losses, and I'm at least 50% win rate. Okay, at least today it was, right? Um, that's all that matters to me. So ended the day super, super happy with my decisions. Ended the day green, and immediately afterwards, turned everything off, and walked away. Overtrading is one of the biggest account killers out there. So I made my goal for the day. I did well, turned everything off, walked away so that I did not continue to trade and risk giving back everything that I gained the second time. All right. So I hope this video helps you guys. I apologize for not having my microphone on and then not realizing that that was the case. Um, I've made changes to make sure that that doesn't ever happen again. So we're good there. And yeah, so that was today. Good way to start the week off. I'm excited to come back tomorrow morning with the microphone on this time to see you guys back all in the live tomorrow morning. So with that being said, thank you guys. I appreciate all of you. Hit that subscribe button down below, like, share, do all those things. Join the Discord while it's free. That is in the link is in the description down below as well. And I will see you guys all in the live tomorrow morning. Have a good day.